Hi everybody, I am ARMR, and what I watched today is Reboot, Season 3, Episode 1, To Mend and Defend. Now we're in territory I only very vaguely remember at best. I don't recall these episodes being played as often as the first two seasons in reruns. Season 3 starts off with a narration by Megabyte, done in Bob's style, stating his format and calling the land Mega Frame now, as we're shown everything our heroes lost in the previous season's battle. We're picking up pretty much right where the last episode led off, with Megabyte and Hex turn their giant anti-web cannon at the principal office. It's a pretty heavy scene, as we find out that of those hundreds of ships we saw the principal office launch last episode, there's 9 left. I mean, yeah, they're imaginary and they're virtual, but still, that many sprites lost. Holy crap. To add on to the crap soup, Megabyte calls in at this point, demanding their unconditional surrender, which naturally our heroes, being the protagonists, refuse. I get where Megabyte's coming from here. When conquering a longtime enemy, it's probably more satisfying to break them and have them admit you're superior, rather than have to fight them every inch of the way. Naturally, Megs isn't probably pissed that getting rid of Bob didn't do the job like he'd hoped. But that's why we make Plan Bs. Getting rid of Bob didn't break them, but there are other ways. After some action scenes, we get an argument between Dot and Enzo. After all, now Enzo is a Guardian. He's compelled by the Guardian Code to mend and defend. But Dot's still hurting from loss of Bob, and she doesn't want to see Enzo rushing off and, well, getting hurt. It's a great scene, showing them still processing the emotions of what for them happened only nanos ago. The emotional toll is evident. I mean, Dot's trying to keep it together. Everyone is, because they're still in danger. But you can see the cracks showing as they try to process what happened, that Bob might be gone. It is beautifully written, beautifully animated, and even the voice acting is just beautifully performed in this moment. All in all, other than the situation being crappy, it is a great scene, well done, well paced, and does remind us of the emotional stakes that we just saw. But for viewers of the TV show, this would have been months later. Mouse and Dot head out. They're gonna take the fight to the viruses. Meanwhile, Hex is going off the rails. Who saw that coming, huh? As usual for her, and, deciding that it would be more fun to delete Mainframe instead of going with Megabyte's Conquer plan. This, of course, causes a fight between the two viruses, and it does most of Mainframe's job for them in terms of stopping this one attack. A game descends, destroying the cannon and frying Hex. It is a brutal scene. And we see Enzo rushing towards the game with Andrea. He can't help himself. The Guardian Code is apparently literally compelling him towards the game. The big problem here? Andrea is a game sprite. We find out here that if she enters that game, win or lose, she leaves with the game. She would be lost if she entered the game. That's kind of heavy. Amid this tension, though, we get an awesome scene of Frisket destroying a tank. Thankfully, one of my favorite characters saves the other as Mouse stops Andrea before she can reach the game, Dot making it into the game to, well, help Enzo. And this new game has an awesome horror movie theme. The graphics, the atmosphere, everything about it is just awesome. And after Enzo explains the game to the binomes that are around them, we switch scenes to Megabyte's goons, finding Hex just a little Kentucky Fried and taking her in. Even if she is dead, I'm sure Megabyte will find a use for her somehow. We return to the game and see the user. It's Ash. There's no questioning it. This is Ash, period. Take a look for yourself. And here we finally get this episode's reboots. Frisket as an awesome devil dog. Enzo becomes Michael Jackson? Huh. And Dot becomes, well, the music they put over her sounds like they're implying she's more Morticia from Addams Family, but the outfit and hair together give me a pretty strong Elvira vibe. Either way, awesome. Enzo's capable well, he's capable enough. He gives the sprites orders. They refuse to listen to him at first because he's no Bob. But Dot yells at them and they just go running. Outside the game, we see an interview with a sprite who's kind of, well, doubting that Enzo is up to the task. He's no Guardian. After all, he's not even blue. That's the one complaint that the sprites have had this episode that makes me laugh. When they're just constantly like, he can't be a Guardian, he's not blue! They're so used to Bob that they cannot imagine a Guardian coming in any other color. It's kind of fun. But this interview, it gives Megabyte an idea to break Enzo and his friends. Propaganda. It's definitely a new tactic for Megabyte, who usually goes for the more violent routes. So, kudos there, sir. Now, go be deleted, please. After that, we return once more to the game, getting a genuinely funny line / social commentary / fourth wall break.
I mean, what kind of sick creature gets enjoyment out of playing this sort of game?
Not that long after, Enzo lives up to his reboot as he dodges gunfire while dancing like Michael. It's a thriller to watch. The Evil Dead references pile on as the user's sprite, well, can only say groovy, and he gets wrapped up in tape recorder tape. Which, it's been a long time, but I do vaguely remember that a tape recorder was a big plot point in the first Evil Dead. Or was that the second? I can never keep track of them, to be honest. Other than Army of Darkness, but that's because I'm more of a funny guy than a horror guy. Dot and Enzo together manage to finish the user off. And as the game leaves, the shields come up once more around the principal office, giving us a really triumphant feel to the end of the episode. Now, during the game, Frisket got shot. But don't worry, everyone. It's at this point, not long after the game is finished, we find out that Frisket will live. We even see him terrorizing the vet staff as they politely request that Enzo pick up Frisket immediately. Yeah, I as much as I love Frisket, I can understand their pain. Anyhow, that's the highlights of this episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.